I want to ask you, how do you compare the WWE TNA relationship to the AEW TNA relationship?
Man, just comparing them is so hard because it's like you look at where Impact was at the time, and and this is what frustrates me about social media, as great as it is in some ways, is no matter what somebody says, somebody has to make it toxic. Like, can't it just be good that the NXT relationship? Why are you comparing? Like, okay, well, first of all, like there's pros and cons to each side. So the NXT thing is obviously super cool. The TNA talent is being incorporated into the NXT broadcast, which is amazing. The flip side of the preferences of the AEW relationship. Well, one, we were not in a great shape. Like the TNA company is so much stronger now in 2024 than Impact was in 2000. So like at that point, like we needed a boost.
And it was like the heart of COVID too.
Mm-hmm, like, we never got a chance to put Kenny Omega in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
Like we would have been selling a lot of tickets at that point with Kenny Omega.
Yeah, he was your world champion.
And Kenny was amazing coming in, and I don't know if people ever realize how banged up and hurt Kenny is. And there's people they're like, oh, well, Kenny like mailed it in. I watched Kenny get worked on for 90 minutes to try to get enough, build up enough strength to go out there and wrestle Moose at 1 a.m. in Jacksonville. And people are like, oh, well, Kenny phoned it in. Like that guy could barely walk. And then that guy sat there apologizing to Moose, giving Moose a great match that few people in the world could give me. I wanted to do so much more. So sorry. He was great. Now you look at things like, hey, things are going good for TNA now. People go, oh, well, they don't like that Kenny didn't get to drop the belt. Kenny would have dropped the belt, would have loved to have, wanted to put Josh over, wanted to work with Eddie Edwards, just didn't pan out. Like some of the things that we saw with AEW, like haven't happened for the TNA relationship yet. Like people will point, I love it. It's like somebody pointed out that, TNA has record low viewership, like on one of the Omega shows. They point out that it's something where none of the DVRs work and some systems were on blackout. Point out the other fact, point out that the highest rated show in the history of Access TV, the highest rated, not just Impact show, but the highest rated show by a long shot to ever be on Access TV was that 268 overnight number that Kenny did that grew that well into the threes by the time he did the +3 and the +7. High, like we never did numbers like we did when Kenny came in there. When you look at it, when Kenny came in, the rebellion with him and Swan in the main event, the title versus title, set a record during the Anthem era of buys. It was 3 to 4 times higher than any of the shows leading into it had been. And then the next one, the Slammiversary with Sami Callihan, was the third best show of the Anthem era. It went Kenny Swan, then it went the Good Brothers, and everybody coming in and debuting as part of that Who's Going to Show Up, as part of that, and that one was built on the buzz of who's going to show up, right? This was literally the Kenny Swan one was built off of here's Kenny Omega, here's Rich Swann, title for title. Like that did a huge number. And then, like I said, the Kenny Sammy match at Slam was just slightly below the debut of the Good Brothers and everybody off that Who's Coming.